Paul may have been a distant fourth-place finisher in South Carolina's Republican primary last weekend, but he's got plenty of money to carry on his campaign. Our Gene Cubison spoke to the Texas congressman in a satellite interview and is here with the upshot of it all.
Well, Marty, I began by asking Paul what it is like being a Republican candidate with such maverick views on foreign policy and domestic issues. Doesn't that make it easy for opponents and the media to marginalize him?
I think that's true, but I'm defending what Republicans used to believe in. You know, I want to change the Republican Party as far as fiscal conservatism. I want to balance the budget. You know, that's a real significant change. But I'm talking about what was traditional for Republicans. I want to obey the Constitution in a very strict manner.
Well, I told Paul that it seemed his bigger-named rivals were ganging up on him during recent debates, trying to paint him not only as being outside the mainstream of Republican thinking, but outside of the mainstream of reality, especially when it comes to the war on terror. Their body language, the slouches, the smirks and shaking the head. Well, Paul said actually it's the other way around, that the conventional wisdom of the Bush administration and the GOP is based on a misunderstanding of what's really motivating terrorists to target and attack the U.S. and its allies.
I believe very sincerely if we follow a non-interventionist foreign policy, we would have less threat of terrorism, not more. The Iraqis had nothing to do with the terrorist attack. Saudi Arabia had a lot more to do with it, and we just sent them $20 billion worth of weapons.
Now, Paul took 4% of the vote in South Carolina's GOP primary. That was a showing 50% higher than those of Rudy Giuliani and Duncan Hunter combined. Hunter dropped out of the race on Saturday. Now, coming up at 6, a look at so-called Generation Me voters. How much will youth be served and vice versa by this year's election process? Marty.
Paul's been one of the beneficiaries of the Internet, which always implies to me some youthful interest.
Oh, yes, he is. He's a darling with them. He raised $6 million in one day through a very intense campaign, $20 million in the last quarter. And they apparently, as we're going to see at 6, like his straight talk from the heart, not the head. You don't see the strings of the puppeteers, the spinmeisters, making him dance to the message.
Okay. There was a P.S. there, but I've got to forget it for now and go back to 6.
Thank you, Mark.